Here is how to declutter your house 5 times faster, and make sure you stick around. The last tip is amazing. Now, there is a theory that states 20% of your belongings contribute to 80% of the clutter in your space. On the surface level, I think that is totally true, because if I look around my house on a day when it is feeling really cluttered, it's kids' clothes, it's things I haven't put away, it's paperwork, it's recycling that hasn't made it to the bin. It is the usual suspects. Once we tackle this problem fast, because it's only 20% of the stuff, we can feel like our space is less cluttered, and we can get to the deeper stuff more quickly too. It's like when I tell my teens to pick up their room. I say, start with the big stuff. Start with your clothes, start with the dishes, start with the garbage. There's a lot of big stuff that they leave lying around. If you're super focused, it is really, really fast. But one of the biggest problems with decluttering is that it can feel like a massive job. Oh, I'm just going to declutter my whole house. Ugh, that will take ages. If you're anything like me, your kitchen gets cleaned at least once per day, probably like 6 times a day if you're me. Well, imagine adding up all the time that it takes for you to clean your kitchen. That would be like 9 million minutes in a year, give or take. That's pretty overwhelming. And if you think about it, decluttering is the same thing. It's a process that takes time. And it's also a process that can be incorporated into your daily activities bit by bit. But the important part is the focus. Even if you only spend 5 minutes per day, that is a really, really long time. Believe me, because I am currently trying to revive my lawn. Yet, I'm trying to be very water conscious, so I can actually only water for 5 minutes at a time. Now, I set the timer on my watch, and naturally, I just end up going to find something to do while I wait. Well, I'm going to tell you, I am amazed at how much I can get done during those 5 minutes. We humans are a lot like the genius animal, the crow, which, by the way, was an excellent movie. I'm just going to say. Now, we have shiny object syndrome, meaning we get distracted easily. Whether it's thinking, I'll just check my email, to Facebook, to suddenly, I just need to pet my cat. The problem with getting distracted is that research has shown it takes 23 minutes and 15 seconds to refocus on the task after being interrupted. Now, if you add all of this up, it can feel like we are decluttering or doing whatever it is forever. And this is why even 5 focus minutes can feel like an incredibly fast way to get your decluttering done. You probably know that old fable of the grasshopper that just sits around all summer while the ant is gathering food. Well, that ant has lots of food for the winter, and the grasshopper completely starves to death. Now, if you procrastinate cleaning, you're probably not going to starve to death. I would hope you don't. But you are going to continue living in an environment that is not serving your mental or your physical health. So when you decide to declutter, commit and do it. One of my favorite ways to get off the couch when I am watching my favorite YouTuber, Max Miller, is I use Mel Robbins' 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. You just count down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you get up. You just do it like you're a rocket ship. And don't get caught up in finding the perfect box, the perfect place to donate, or other perfect things. This is a classic procrastination technique, and a lot of us don't realize it. It's almost like perfectionism. You just need to start. And make sure that you schedule the time to declutter in. A stitch in time saves 9. Now for me, I am completely lost without my schedule. I end up doing random things and completely forget what I actually want to get done. I just get thrown off. I love how when I schedule things out, they get done. Like today, I had a bunch of things on my list to do, and I just kind of started them, and in no time, I was done. I also love the idea of anchoring one activity to one that we always do. So if you're trying to create a new habit like decluttering every day, maybe consider anchoring it to things like brushing your teeth or eating dinner. How about after you eat dinner, you declutter? Write that down, and in no time, it will become a habit, and you will have a totally decluttered house. And when we are decluttering, one of the fastest ways to move things along is to ask the right questions. If you pick up items and you have no guidelines for how to decide, it will just take you forever and you might end up giving up. I go over all of the right questions to ask in this video right here, and I hope something great happens for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.